What's going on YouTube? It's Ballz. This video is just going to be more of method of operations, I guess you can call it. So what I'm going to be doing is a few feedings, see if everybody eats, make sure, because I went to go pick up a whole bunch of rats like I do once a month, and we're going to do some weigh outs and stuff. So let's get some of that handled, and then I'll show you my setup and how I do things. We got Wu-Tang. Go in, see if I can get a weight on him. Last time I checked, he was almost 400 grams, so you should be able to see if that's about right. Yeah, 403 grams on this big boy. He grows fast. He's a good eater. He should eat and bump him up on the size of food. Yeah, this is Wu-Tang, my pastel yellow belly male from All Time Reptiles, Jeremy. Alright, let's see who's next. Alright, and here we have Dipper, my male banana boy. He's weighing in at 553 grams. He should be getting ready to eat. Pretty sure he's hungry. Made a big old mess after I cleaned it yesterday, so I'm going to clean him out. And then I'm gonna get him eating. Alright, let's see who's next. Alright, here we have Autumn, my fire killer bee. Let's see how much she's weighing in at today. $564 grams, 565. 565 grams. This girl is getting beautiful. She's definitely probably not in the mood for me. Alright, here we have Zazu, the beast. The big boy. Let's see what he's weighing in at today. $801 grams. Alright, and here we got the big boy Ace, the big pastel male. Let's go ahead and get him so I can get him a weight. Big old boy. See how much he's weighing in at today. $936 grams. Look at that. Big old boy. He's growing so fast since I've had him. Let's go. Alright, this is Sunny, my pet pied female. Let's see where she weighs in at today. She's coming in at 786 grams, which is pretty good. She's also been finicky eater that she's finally catching on, finally getting comfortable enough to eat on a regular basis. We'll see if we can get her ready by next week. And here we have Tilly, a big lesser female. I'll probably do a video on that another time, sometime soon, because I'm starting to realize the difference between butter and lesser, but that'll be another moment. Let's see what she weighs in at today. Alright, she's coming in at 942 grams, and that's good. She's starting to eat steadily now, but hopefully we break this 1,000-gram wall that she's been stuck at. Alright, here we have Harleen, the big Harlequin female. Last time I weighed her, she was a little bit over 1,800 grams. And let's see what she's in at today. Alright, here she is holding her weight at about 17 grams. Big old girl. You see the swell on her. She's building follicles beautifully, hopefully. We'll see in a few months what she gives me. Alright, so now that I have everybody's weights in, what I usually do is just write them down in a notebook. I'll write them down on the top of the tubs, at least for the meanwhile, so I can get everybody moving, and then I'll write them down in a notebook later. But let me see if I can flip this camera around and show you guys exactly how my rack system's set up. Mind you, it's not the best. It's actually a really cheap route that I had to go. I don't like tanks very much. I had a couple of them in tanks before they came to me, and once I acquired them, I had to build myself this rack. But I'll explain it when I show you. Alright, let's see. Alright, so what I have here is my little rack setup. This is a washer and dryer closet that I'm not using, so it's a little bit of storage area as well, but it's a nice secluded area. I can close the doors so that we don't see too much back and forth. They don't get stressed out. Plus it can hold a little bit of heat in there on its own. I have the heat lamp up here. This is the roof per se, so they live in like a little apartment building. I have my roof up here. This is where I thaw out any frozen rats. So I have the heat lamp sitting on top, usually in a bucket of water, so it keeps them warm. It doesn't thaw them out too fast or whatever, so that the core temperature gets just as high. Alright, so let's start from the bottom floor. Alright, right here I have my biggest girl, Harleen. She's on the first floor. Second floor I have Tilly, my lesser female. Third floor, he's missing a tub, but he's eating right now. And I have Ace, my pastel male. On the right side I have female, so I have Sunny here. Fourth floor I have Zazu, my lesser male. And on the right side I have female Fire Killer Bee Autumn. What's that, fifth floor? Fifth floor I have the youngest ones. They go big to small. I have my banana male, and I have Wu-Tang, my pastel yellow belly. So how it is down here, because we have the bigger tubs, I have the 6-inch heat tape on one side so I can cover it up, and it gives me enough space on either side where if it's covering up too much bottom surface area, I'll just move it over a little bit. But the shelving, I'll give them plenty of space. Same thing goes with the other big tub. I have it on the other side just because it was a mismatch when I originally did it. But what I do is I don't like to have my heat tape directly under the tub, so that when they're sliding back and forth it causes some wear and tear. So I took this from Benjamin Exotics, shout out to him. He showed me this. What I do, I have some metal flashing. It's usually used for roofing and stuff, but I put metal flashing on top of the heat tape. So I secured the heat tape from under, I flipped it over, and I'm using the aluminum tape to seal the edges around it so it's not exposed, it's not flopping up and not causing contact. So that's where the tubs actually slide back and forth on. It doesn't cause any wear and tear on the heat tape, causing any shorts over time. And because it's metal flashing, the heat from the heat tape strips will evenly distribute across the metal flashing aluminum, and it'll give it a better, it won't cause hot spots or anything like that. It usually heats up evenly across. In between these tubs I have thermometers set up, so it does the same thing in each one. And then for the shorties, I have 3-inch heat tape in the back. It takes up a little bit less space, just for the smaller ones so it doesn't overheat them. The little ones are kind of sensitive sometimes. On the medium tubs, I have the 4-inch heat strips. Gives them a little bit more belly coverage because they're eating bigger meals. And this whole rack basically is a Walmart rack. So I went to Walmart, and for 25 bucks at the max after taxes, you get a shelving unit, and it's usually 3 floors. This is 2 racks actually put together, and then the other 2 levels of that is what I use as my quarantine rack. If I get any new ones, I'll put them in a separate bedroom or in a separate room altogether, and I'll use that as a quarantine, but right now it's not in use. And this is my rack. What I did was I cut the tubes that are used as legs down to the appropriate size. Now this holds, I mean, it's a little bit inconveniencing only because there's lids on. I can't just pull the drawers out and drop a rat in and keep it moving. In the beginning, I didn't really know how to do the rack setup. So the first tub that I bought when Autumn and Ace were brought to me was one of these. Now, even if I wanted to, I couldn't use these as a drawer because it has that lift here, so it wouldn't sit flush. But for now, until I get a better rack setup in the future, these are good. I keep the lids on. I have holes poked on the side so they can breathe, but it keeps my humidity in perfectly where they need to, especially if they need to be shedding, so it doesn't dry them out. But that's my nice little meek setup. Each one of my heat tapes is on a separate line, and then I have everything else plugged in separately in the corners. So yeah, it's convenient for me. It's out of the way, plus I don't have them stressing out from being in the middle of everything, because the clear tubs and seeing everything walking back and forth. I have a little one in the house, so he causes pretty much a good amount of damage running around all day, but they won't have to be stressed out over it. It's just a good little hideaway for them. I have most of my everything else I need, any extra hides or any extra tubing just in case I want to add extra levels on top. But yeah, that's my rack. It works for me, and any issues that I have, because it's a DIY rack, and I don't have everything that I wish I had at the moment. I keep my temperatures checking probably every 2 or 3 days. I want to double check and make sure. I like my house kind of cold, so I want to make sure that my AC is not interfering with the ambient temperature. And I do notice if it's colder in here, I notice the thermometers will go down, and if it's warmer in here, they'll go up. So I just want to make sure I keep a good bead on the temperature of the actual tub, the ambient temperature inside the tub, and directly on top of the heat strips in the back. So yeah, that's my general setup right now. As you can see, everything's nice and clean out the way. If I close these doors, nobody bothers them. Nice and out the way. I can keep the smells to a minimum, and when I access them, just slide the doors open, go in, handle my business, and get everyone cleared and set up, ready to go. It's not the ideal setup. In a perfect world, we'd all have everything exactly the way we want it, but in a short amount of time, and the way I had everything pulled in, the way I started in this, it worked. So over time, once we get a bigger place and everything, and I have my own, either they have their own room, or I can take some garage space and make my own snake corner or reptile area. Then I can have, all the cool stuff. I'll get different types of racks. I would love some big giant metal Freedom Breeder racks, but right now this is working for me. And even if I do upgrade to different racks, I'll probably keep this just for babies. I'll keep it as a baby rack, or I'll keep it as a quarantine rack. Regardless, it gets me by day to day. I can keep an eye on them. I can keep track of everything that they do. So it's pretty easy when it comes to that. That's the way I do things. One good idea that I did, if you guys have direct contact on your heat strips, be careful. Over time they can wear and tear. That plastic is not super durable. Over time, your tubs rubbing back and forth on it can break down the plastic, could cause heat spikes. You never really know. That metal flashing on the heat tape is a lifesaver. It's so awesome. Like I said, it does distribute the heat better because the metal itself is heating up across all the way, and so it does give us better control. It is a good idea if you guys could find it. I don't even remember how much I paid for that roll, but it wasn't very expensive. I think somewhere around 10 bucks for a roll, and I cut it down to the sizes that I needed. It's not really that hard. Go to Home Depot or any hardware store or something like that, and it's metal flashing, roofing stuff. But it works. It's pretty cool, and then you don't have to worry about tearing up your heat tape and having to replace it however long it takes for its breakdown. But yeah, that's me.